Sometimes before we can solve an equation, isolate our variable, using the SAMDEV order, we will need to take some steps to free our variables from brackets and then gather like terms.
In this video, we're looking at how to solve an equation using a number of different math skills that we've learned. So first of all, we always want to remember that when we're asked to solve, what we're supposed to do is figure out what m is, or x is, or y is, or whatever the variable is. So in order to solve this equation, we have to get m by itself. But if you look at it, we've got 3 with m, we've got other numbers here, and it's a little bit complicated. So we want to simplify it first. Now when we go to simplify an equation, we'll follow BEDMAS. Brackets, exponents, divide, multiply, add, subtract. So first we'll look and say, brackets, is there anything that we can do with our brackets to simplify it, make it smaller, easier? Well, these are two different terms here with this bracket, 2 plus 3m. You can't add them together. This has an m, this doesn't. Here you've got m plus 5. You can't add those ones together either. So we move on. Exponents. We don't have any exponents. Dividing. We don't have any dividing that we can do. Multiplying. Yes, we have multiplying. Whenever you have brackets with a number right outside, it means that every term inside the bracket will be multiplied by the number outside. So here, everything inside will be multiplied by 2. And over here, everything inside this bracket is going to be multiplied by -1. Because remember, if there's a negative outside of the bracket, it implies that there's a -1 there. So we use our rainbow method to multiply through. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times positive 3m is 6m. -1 times m is -1m, or -m. -1 times 5 is -5. Okay, now when we've gotten to this point, we're going to start to gather like terms to help us simplify. So we've got two different sets of terms on the left side of the equal sign. We've got the numbers, 4 and -5, and we've got the variables, 6m and -m. Let's do the numbers first. 4 minus 5 is -1, and then we'll gather like terms with the m's. Positive 6m minus 1m gives us 5m, and that equals 14. Now we're getting closer to figuring out what m is. We still want to get it by itself, so we've got the 5 here in the way, and we've got the -1. The easiest thing to do would be to get rid of the -1 by adding a 1 to this side, because -1 plus 1 would be 0. But if I add a 1 to this side, I have to add a 1 to this side. It's like a teeter-totter, this equal sign. Whatever you do to one side of an equation, you have to do the same thing to the other side. So -1 plus 1 is 0. 0 plus 5m equals 15. Well, we don't need to write 0 plus anything. It just means 5m equals 15. We almost have m by itself. We still got this 5 here in the way. So we ask ourselves, if I want to get rid of this 5, what is the opposite operation of multiplying m by 5? Well, I divide by 5. But if I divide this side by 5, I have to divide every term on this side by 5. And what happens, 5 divided by 5 is 1. So 1 times m is just m. M equals 15 divided by 5, which is 3. And I've got my solution, m equals 3. Now if I want to do a check, I go back and I look at the original equation, and I look at the left side of the equation, and I look at the right side. So let's do a check. The left side of this equation is 2 bracket 2 plus 3m minus, oh, I'm going to run out of room, 1 bracket m plus 5. Okay, and the right side is 14. Right. So instead of an m, I'm now going to put in 3 because I'm checking to see if that 3 is correct, if it will work. So I'm going to replace my m with 3. Everywhere I see that m, I will write 3. And I get, do the brackets first, the brackets inside the brackets first. Oh, I missed a bracket there when I wrote it. So 2 plus 3 times 3, so 2 plus 9, minus 3 plus 5 equals 2, bracket, 11 minus 8 equals 2 times 11 is 22 minus 8, which equals 14. So when I go back to the original equation and I take the left side and I replace m with the number that I found, the left side says that my answer is 14 on this side of the equation. The right side was 14, so when I've broken it down and checked, I see that the left side is equal to the right side. And if that is true, I know that my solution is correct. Therefore, m does equal 3.